To start this project, I headed to the Dollar Tree and picked up 4 of these glass candlesticks. Next, I removed the stickers from all the candlesticks, making sure to remove any residue that was left over. Then I placed the first candlestick right side up on my table and applied an even layer of E6000 glue for a permanent hold, followed by some hot glue for an immediate hold, then placed the next candlestick upside down onto the first one. I made sure to line up the ridges located on the outside of both candlesticks for a more seamless look. Once the second candlestick was secure, I repeated the same pattern for the last 2. Once the glue dried for several hours, I spray painted the entire stack of candlesticks with 2 coats of a matte black spray paint. Once the spray paint was dry, I used a dry sponge paintbrush and painted some antique gold rub and buff all over the high points of the candlestick stack, then used a paper towel to buff out the paint and make it a little bit shiny. This finish gave it the look of antique brass, which was what I was going for. Next, I picked up a medium-sized linen lampshade from the craft store that didn't require a harp. Then I marked where the lampshade made contact with the top candlestick in 3 places and made a mark with a permanent marker. I added some hot glue to those marks, then placed the lampshade back on top of the candlestick to secure it. I found some battery-operated puck lights on Amazon and added batteries to one. I removed the sticker backing from the puck light and traced that circle onto a magnet sheet, then added 3 more strips of magnet to the areas where the puck light came into contact with the metal bars of the lampshade. I added my new cordless lamp to my nightstand that it's in a dark corner of my bedroom, and now I no longer have to worry about tripping over cords when I get in and out of bed, and I have some added light for cozy nights.
I have a light in my work area, and unfortunately the shade fell and broke. Looking through my supplies, I found this burlap covered metal ring that fits perfectly around the light fixture. To give the light fixture some depth, I've pulled out 12 beads from my pile, 2 in each size that I had. I want to create strands of beads that I can hang off the metal ring. So I'm going to thread the 12 beads from largest to smallest onto a thin piece of this jute twine. With all of the beads strung, it's time to add them to the metal ring. To hold each strand of beads in place, I'm wrapping the end of the twine around the ring, and then I'm just going to use a little dab of hot glue to keep it in place. I've already gone ahead and put several plugs and hooks into the ceiling around the light fixture, so now all I have to do is slip the ring up over the light and then secure it onto the hooks. I'm absolutely loving how unique this boho chic light looks now. It's the perfect solution for this particular light. I hope this has inspired you to give your light a makeover as well.
You're not going to believe what I made with this plunger and funnel. I removed the wood stick from the plunger and flipped the rubber end inside out. I drew a circle on the top using a sour cream container for a guide. I cut out the circle and trimmed the edges. I placed it on top of newspaper and spray painted it with Rust-Oleum black spray paint. While that was drying, I cut and sanded 1x6 wood planks. I attached the painted rubber plunger piece to the barnwood with 4 black screws. Next, I cut the wood plunger handle and I screwed it into the plunger part. I attached the funnel to the wood plunger handle with another black screw. I used hot glue and attached a battery-operated puck light, and now I have a rustic farmhouse wall sconce for my front entrance for a fraction of the cost of buying new.
For this project, I headed to my local Dollar Tree and I scooped up one of their wired napkin holders. As well, in the kitchen section, I found these cool leather placemats. And then I also scooped up one of these rectangular gold wire baskets. So I began by placing my wire basket over top of the wired napkin holder. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut off the rim around the wire basket, and this just makes it easier to move the wires. I'm also going to take the wires at the end, one end, and I'm going to cut those off. Then I'm going to go around and I'm going to continue cutting off the rim, like I said, so that this wire basket is more pliable and I can actually shape it and mold it around my wire napkin holder. Once I have it all shaped out, I'm then going to come in and take some plastic zip ties, and I'm going to attach the napkin holder directly in the middle using the zip ties, and I'm going to pull them really tight, and this is going to form the wired basket onto the napkin holder to create the shape. So I'm going to attach it in 4 areas on each side of the napkin holder, pulling them really tight and then cutting off the ends of the zip ties. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a battery operated flashlight. This flashlight has 2 functions, so a side light and a top light, and I'm going to use zip ties to attach it to the napkin holder. Then I'm going to take my leather placemat and placing it on the front of the wire basket, I'm going to wrap it around to the back. This placemat is the perfect size and meets perfectly at the back. I'm going to take some zip ties to secure it, working the zip ties through the holes and then pulling them nice and tight. Once I have 4 zip ties in place, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some scissors to cut off the excess of the zip ties so they're not sticking out. And then my wall sconce is completed. To hang my wall sconce on my wall, it's very light, so I'm just going to use a little bit of 3M command strip picture hanging strips. So these are super easy to use. They're just Velcro and you just stick them together, and then there's a sticky side on each. So you can stick one side to the wall sconce and then one side to your wall. All you need to do is simply follow the hanging instructions on the back of the package and you can hang up the wall sconce. I designed this wall sconce for this area by my front door. It's a darker area and needed a little light, and I was so happy that I was able to do this with just a few Dollar Tree supplies. It didn't cost me very much at all, and now I have a beautiful light that I can use here by my side door, and it just fills this space perfectly. I hope this project inspires you to get creative with things that you find at Dollar Tree.
I found this basket for a few dollars at a barn sale and love the color and look of it. I do want to make a larger hole though in the bottom, so I'm going to use this round drill bit to cut out a nice section that's going to take out that damage and create a hole. To add the lamp, I just need to thread the cord through the hole until the piece holding the light bulb is snug against the basket. Next up, I want to do something to cover this dart cord. In the space where I'm going to put this hanging light, the dart cord is really going to stick out, so I want to make it a little softer looking. To make the cord cover, I just need a piece that's going to be wide enough so that when it's joined together, I can slip the cord right down through the middle. Now that I have my pieces cut, I need to join the 2 together. I'm going to put them right sides together and use a piece of fusing tape to hold them together without having to sew anything. I just need to slip a piece of the fusing tape between the 2 pieces of fabric and then hold my hot iron on it for a few seconds to melt it. Once it's melted, the 2 pieces of fabric are fused together and I didn't need to sew anything. The tube is done now and I can slip the cord right through the middle. I need to slip the cord all the way in and push the fabric all the way up to the basket. Once I have it to the edge of the basket, I can turn the edges of the fabric under just to make it look a little more finished. I love how pretty this basket looks as a lamp and how easy it was to cover the dart cord. I hope this has inspired you to think out of the box for your lighting needs as well.